Hello everyone! Welcome to our final craft of this craft series. Are we ready? It is going to be a little version that you can hang on a keychain maybe you want it on your wall, but it's going to be a little version of my rainbow. So let's take a look at what we're going to need. First up, we're going to need some rope. You're going to have 4 different sizes of rope. Here's my 4th one. And all of them have some hot glue and wire on the back. Be careful with the wire. This is just there to kind of help it keep its shape in the arch. But what we're gonna do to keep it all together is a little bit different. So if you don't really like this, you can take it off. We are also gonna need yarn. So we're gonna have the same colors as my rainbow over here. You're gonna have this bright red, bright orange, yellow, and blue. We are also gonna need a needle. This is going to be helping you get the thread tucked into the rest of the yarn so that it doesn't come undone. And to help you with that, we have a needle threader. So this is a little guy, so don't lose it. You're also going to have a small piece of white felt. This is what we're going to use to keep the whole shape together. Other than that, you can use some scissors, but that's it. Are we ready to start? Let's begin.
Okay, so first up we're going to grab our red yarn and we're going to unravel it so we can work with it. Then we will grab our largest piece of rope. We're going to take the end of our yarn and place it maybe about an inch into the arch, and then we're going to start wrapping the rest of the string over that inch. This is going to become our anchor point so that the yarn does not unravel later on. So it doesn't have to be too long. I made mine a little long here. But you're just going to keep wrapping. Make sure your yarn is right next to the last yarn you wrapped. You want to keep it nice and close. Notice how I ended about ½ inch from the bottom. We will be doing the same on the opposite side for every piece of rope. Now that we finished wrapping the entire thing, we're going to cut our yarn. We're going to get our needle threader and put it through the tip of the needle and put the edge of our yarn into the loop and pull through. Now we're going to poke our needle into the last wrap of yarn that we have. I go off camera for just a second, and as we carefully poke the needle through the yarn, we want to make sure we go under at least 5 wraps of yarn to make sure that the tail that we pull through is really stuck under. And once your needle is through, pull tight, and now we've secured the yarn. You're going to get your scissors and cut the extra tail off right up against the rope. Now you're going to do this for the next 3 pieces. Remember, orange is going to be on the next size, then yellow, and blue is our smallest. Woo! We are done wrapping all that yarn. So we're going to get our first red rope and we're going to thread our needle with the white string. With this string, we're going to tie a few knots on one end, just like we did if you did our embroidery project. I did about 3 knots because I wanted a really big knot all in the same spot. Now you're going to hold one end of your rainbow against the fabric and poke from the back up against the edge, right up against the red yarn, but so that the white string blends in with the little bit of white rope. You're going to poke up from the back again, and you're going to go back down against the other side. We're going to be careful because we want this white string to blend in with our yarn. So make sure you're pulling really tight. So we're going to arch it just a little bit, poke up from the back on the bottom of the arch, and then poke back down through the top of the arch. On each of my ropes, I have about 5 points where I have these little loops with the thread. As you are poking these holes, make sure you're poking it slightly under the rope, not right next to the rope, because we're going to try to hide these later. Okay, now that I have my 5 points holding down my red arch, I'm going to grab my next color. And I want to make sure I have the wire side to the back because that's not my prettiest side. And then I want to tuck it just under the red loop. Now we're going to start from the same side that we ended on for red, and poke up through the back and then go back down through the front. Okay, so we're going to get ready to do these for the rest of our colors. Again, make sure you have 5 points at least one on each end before the rope meets the yarn, and one in the middle, and then 2 in between that. Alrighty, let's finish up. Do your last loop on the blue edge of the rope, and we're going to tie a few knots on the back of our fabric now, just to hold everything in place, and then we're going to cut off the extra little bit of string. Last, we're going to cut off the extra white fabric so we do not see it. You're going to have to be very careful you do not cut the stitches that you just took your time on sewing together. So be careful, make sure you don't cut the strings or even the little holes that the string is going through, because that can cause it to come undone. To wrap it up, I got rid of the fabric behind the little white ends of the rope on both sides, and then I didn't like that blue color that you see. It will wash out with water, but I just took the time and cut my ends off. And then to hang this up or turn it into a keychain, you can use your extra bit of white string, or you can also use your tiny little bit of yarn. And what I'm about to do is I'm about to feed it through one of the little stitches I made on the back of my rainbow. Now we're going to tie a knot so the strings are together, and we're going to flip it over, and it's done. I have had a great time with everyone, and I hope to see you guys again soon.